actually want to begin with you're saying that everyone is in need of kindness, which we are, and because everyone walks with shadows. But how can we be kinder to each other every day when we are walking with our own shadows and it can be really hard?
Yeah, there's no doubt it can be really hard. I think we just need to take a step back to answer this question properly and just to remind ourselves that we humans belong to a social species. We're hopeless in isolation. We need each other. And neuroscientists who can now peep into our brains and see what's actually going on in a way that psychologists could previously just speculate about, they say you can find the cooperative center in the human brain, that we're actually hardwired to be sociable, to be cooperative, which means we're hardwired for the qualities we need for cooperation, which are kindness, compassion, care for others, mutual respect, and so on. So at the essence of our nature, we're kind creatures. At the essence of our nature, we live for others. We recognize that our job as members of this social species is to create what humans need in order to thrive, which is a harmonious society. We need families, neighborhoods, groups, communities of all kinds to nurture us and sustain us and to give us that all-important sense of belonging, which is so fundamental to our mental and emotional health. Now, that sounds like a long way around to answering your question, but bearing all of that in mind, what that means is that when we are true to ourselves, we are responsive to the needs of other people because that's what it means to be human. And we acknowledge that all those people walk with shadows as we do. But the key to kindness is the discipline of switching the focus from my own concerns to the concerns of others. Now, we won't always succeed in that. I mean, the ego gets in the way. We can become very self-absorbed. We can get caught up in our own misery. We can get caught up in our own ambition or our own competitiveness or our own acquisitiveness. All those things can distract us from our innate capacity for kindness. So it does require some discipline, Louise. I mean, you're quite right to say it. It doesn't come that easily because we have our own shadows to contend with. And by the way, I'm not suggesting we ignore those. I think we all need every day little moments of solitude, for reflection, and for being kind to ourselves. Not in a self-indulgent way, but simply to equip us, to top up our resources for this rather demanding thing of being a member of a social species. Yeah. I think some people would prefer to belong to a species that consisted of solitary hermits, but that's not us.